Greetings, everyone. I'm Jed Shlackman. I work as a holistic counselor, spiritual energy healer, and hypnotherapist. I'm also an author, and today I'll be reading a chapter from my book, Consciousness, Creation, and Existence, A Guide to the Grand Adventure. You can find the book on Amazon. It's available in both ebook and hard copy formats. So we'll begin chapter 5 now. And at the beginning of the chapter is a quote from the Handbook for the New Paradigm, Volume 3. This quote states, "It is difficult to comprehend that each life experience contributes to the composite that differentiates itself so that it can then gather those scattered experiences back into itself in a meaningful way. It can only be interpreted through intelligent beings observing their experiences and drawing conclusions, which is another way of saying experiencing knowledge acquired into the wisdom of understanding." The paradox of perspective. Any particular reality can be experienced and observed from countless different perspectives. Each of those perspectives represent points of awareness with their own experiential context. Each perspective and experience is useful and meaningful, and all coexist synchronistically within the one source to generate the fulfillment of existence. These different perspectives are all appropriate within themselves to facilitate the experiences needed by consciousness. Some are more primitive and imbalanced than others, yet that is a valid and purposeful part of the expression of infinite self, imagining its own evolution. Is the human perspective more expansive than the perspective of a cockroach or a patch of mold? The roach and the mold would not be engaged in the philosophical dialogue necessary to ponder such a question, so I will take a brave guess and conclude that humans are more self-aware and more aware of self with a capital S than the spiritual expressions operating through simpler biological vehicles. Yet there is nothing quote-unquote wrong with the level of awareness of insects and fungi. That fungi might really seem like a fun guy if you are a natural decomposer living in the same environment. One individual's pleasure may be another's pain and suffering. At this physical level of reality, experience is largely guided by polarized programs operating in one's consciousness. This includes genetic and biological programs, such as those that generate fear when safety or security are threatened, hunger when the body needs nourishment, passion and arousal when the mating instinct is activated, and more. Soul memory and social and cultural beliefs are also filters for experience. Beliefs about life roles, justice, freedom, religion, gender, relationships, and other aspects of human existence are operating within our minds to shape our experience. By partaking of all these experiences and experiencing the results of these patterns of consciousness, we evolve toward a greater understanding of creation and a greater ability to generate balance and harmony with our environment and within ourselves. Self cannot be fully understood and appreciated without an experience of other in relationships with self. One thing we can recognize as we interact with others is that each individual has a unique personal memory record of that individual's experiences. That recorded history of experiences informs the perspective of that individual, from which it is logically concluded that no two individuals can share exactly the same perspective in life. Despite this obvious fact, we often mistakenly assume a shared context of experience or shared perspective when we interact with people. Likewise, people often experience unease with persons who have a starkly different perspective than themselves. It could be something like assuming others share one's political or religious beliefs, or even something like assuming someone has been exposed to the same music, TV shows, films, foods, stores, or other aspects of one's cultural environment. This is a tendency that exists for convenience, just as we place things in our environment into categories for convenience and develop prejudices as a type of convenience for our mind to make quick judgments when responding to the environments we encounter. It is possible to enhance our awareness of self and others by deliberately halting our assumptions and seeking to learn about the actual perspectives of those we interact with. To do so requires identifying more with our higher selves than with our animal instincts and human personas. Spirit is curious and desires to learn, while the animal organism and ego often seek to preserve themselves from real or imagined fears. This concludes Chapter 5. Again, the title of the book is Consciousness, Creation, and Existence, A Guide to the Grand Adventure. For those that are interested in spirituality or holistic health and healing, you can find additional resources on my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. For now, I'd like to wish each of you a wonderful day. Namaste.